welcome back to the Craft Castle. My name is Ashley, and in a previous video, I unboxed the brand new Xtool M1 Ultra. And if you watched that unboxing video, you do know that I have quickly fallen in love with this new machine. It is so worth every single penny that they're charging. That being said, on the same day that Xtool launched the M1 Ultra, they also released their brand new line of heat presses. And today we are going to unbox the heat press, and we are going to create an HTV iron-on decal only using Xtool products. We're going to be using the Xtool M1 Ultra. We are also going to be using one of the Xtool heat presses. We are also going to be using an Xtool t-shirt, and we are also going to be using some Xtool HTV. I mean, Xtool is turning into like a one-stop shop. You can order all the things, everything you need for one craft project straight from one company. Man, they're smart. I like their business model. Before we get into making our t-shirt, I just want to talk a little bit about the M1 Ultra, because if you did not watch that unboxing video, you're missing out. First and foremost, the M1 Ultra is a laser cutter. My particular one is a 10 watt, but they also sell it in a 20. The other great thing is that there are going to be knife blades, rotary blades, foil braids, every single blade attachment that you could possibly get using one of your Cricuts. They have that available for this machine. And the third thing, which frankly to me is the most important thing that you can have in this machine, is that this machine has an inkjet printer. I printed and cutted these pieces of wood all on the brand new M1 Ultra. Look at this right here. This is wood, y'all. Wood. And it doesn't bleed at all. No bleed. Oop, just dropped one, but no bleeding. Nothing. You can't get the ink off this. Game changer. Absolute game changer. It can do more than just print on wood, by the way. It also can do all of your cardstock projects, vinyl, printable HTV, anything you would generally use with an inkjet printer. This is right here an inkjet printer, a laser, and a Cricut, all in one machine. Seriously, it is a crafter's dream come true. I honestly don't even know what to call this machine outside of the ultimate crafting machine. Okie dokie, now that I'm done talking your ear off about the M1 Ultra, let's go and unbox these heat presses right here, because you can see right now that I have 3 boxes in here. And these 2 larger boxes that are right here, there's actually a really neat feature about these 2. I love it. So let me explain this while I unbox. Came out with a heat press mat. This right here is what you're going to need to use to press all of your stuff on your heat press. We're going to get into the little box right now, because ain't this thing just so cute? Anything miniature, Ashley Falco loves. This right here is just a mini heat press, handheld, comes with a little cradle, and then this right here with a little hand. It actually feels like it's weighted some, which is great, because then you're not going to have to put your full arm pressure on, because it is kind of on the weighted side. It's not heavy by any means, but it definitely feels a little bit more durable than any other smaller heat presses that are on the market. Now, I'm not sure if this is like this for all the mini heat presses out in the market. I have my own, and I'm pretty sure I've never seen this before. But you know, on the mini heat presses where you do beep, 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 and one is for low, the second dot's for medium, and the third dot's for high. I actually never even knew that there was a temperature setting to it, but in the little instruction guide, it gives you like what the temperatures are. I think what I'm going to do is just create a small little vinyl decal and put this information like up here at the top of the handle, just so I know for future reference what these dots mean at the front of my heat press. Okay, so then the 2 larger boxes, this right here is the actual heat press. This is a smart heat press, and it is portable. It comes with a really, really long power cord, so that's really cool. And this is your little smart control dial. I love the coloring of this heat press, and it's actually pretty weighted, but it's all white with this like faux wood grain handles. This is very, very chic. What would you call that? Aesthetically pleasing. This thing right here is so cute, and it's fairly decent in weight. The very last thing in the box is just the cradle of which it's going to sit in. And I just took a ruler to measure out the base plate of this, and this is 12 by 10 inches, so it's a fairly decent size heat press. We're gonna put that down in here. Okay, so this little thing is called a transceiver, and you need to put this over here in this like thicker hole that's in the back of the heat press. Then what we need to do is plug in the power cord. So before we unbox the larger box, what we need to do is pair this. So what we need to do is plug this in. Then we need to hold the button that's on the back of this transmitter until this blue light starts to blink. Then what we're going to do is toggle on this little thing. Then we need to hold this down for 3 seconds. Okay, and then this little thing will blink, but now it's not blinking and this isn't blinking. So that means that both of these are paired. Now you can change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit just like this. And then we can actually dial up the temperature right here and then your seconds right here. This is actually really cool because it's Bluetooth compatible from here to here. And it's battery operated, rechargeable right here. Can you see that? It's rechargeable. So we don't have to be with this. You can set this and do your pressing over here and you're not connected to anything. That's really interesting. The maximum temperature is 400 degrees. I don't know, the seconds just keep on going. I'm already at 400 seconds. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my heat press on, and when I do that, you're gonna have this orange light right here. That means that it is heating up. When it finally gets to temp, we're just gonna do it for 400. When it finally gets to temp, your orange light is gonna turn green. Okay, and then this 3 dots right here toggles in between other presets. And then once this is done preheating and you are ready to press, all you would need to do is press this button right here and it's going to automatically start the timer, and you can press it again to stop the timer. Okay, so while this heats up, I'm just gonna slide this over so we can talk about what's in this larger box, because this larger box makes this portable heat press even cooler. So we all know that it is nice to be able to have a portable heat press, but there are some applications, especially when you're using sublimation, that even, ooh, it is done heating up. That was really quick. Anyways, when you're doing sublimation projects, it is very crucial that you have even pressure. And when you're using a portable heat press like this, oftentimes it is pretty hard to get really good even pressure. So this thing right here is an attachment that you can get that will attach your portable heat press onto a base station that then becomes a stationary heat press that you can just press a lever down and it's going to give even pressure. That's right, we're gonna turn a portable heat press into a desktop heat press that does even pressure. But then you are not stuck at just a desktop heat press. You then, let's say you wanted to take your heat press to a craft market, or you wanted to do something in a different location, or you're too large for an actual heat press, so you need to get on the floor, because I mean, I've done large blankets and stuff, and I'm gonna have to go on the floor because I got so much HTV to press that it's just easier to do it on the floor. You can detach this from the base, making it portable again. This is absolutely amazing. I've never seen anything like this on the market. Now I think there's gonna be a little bit of assembly to this base. We do got some screws. The great thing is there's not a ton of pieces, but there is some assembly required here. So my main concern for this when I had seen this original attachment was it was going to be a pain in the butt to switch it from a stationary heat press back to a portable one. But this thing right here actually just slides right into place on the heat press, making this a stationary heat press. When you want it to be portable, all you need to do is pull this out and put this in the cradle. And now it's back to being portable again. It is that easy to switch from stationary to portable. So cool. When you're using it as a stationary heat press, you don't need to use this. However, what I am going to do is put this underneath right here, just so it ensures that I don't ruin my actual base to my heat press. There's a raise and lowering knob at the back of your heat press machine, and this entire thing swings all the way around. Okay, now what I want to do is go over to the M1 Ultra and show you how to make an HTV decal using the M1 Ultra, and then we'll use the heat press to press our HTV design on a t-shirt. Okay, so the very first thing that I want to do at the M1 Ultra is put in the two-sided sticky cutting mat. So I'm going to put my cutting mat inside the printed guide that is on my laser bed. You want to make sure and press this down firmly, just so it doesn't slide around. Now in this M1 Ultra, you're going to have a head that looks something like this. Right now, what is loaded into my machine is the inkjet printer. This right here is so stinking cool. It actually has an inkjet cartridge right here. But I'm going to utilize this side right here because I am just going to put in my craft cutting blade. Now, Xtool has all of these blades for the M1 that you can choose from. They have a foil blade. You could even use this for scoring and embossing. A pen adapter tool. You can use a pen and marker in your M1 Ultra. It has a rotary blade, so we could cut any type of fabric with this machine. It also has a deep knife blade. And then finally, the fine point blade. This is the same type of blade that you would use with a Cricut or a Silhouette. So what I'm going to do is take this fine point blade, I'm going to open up the housing, I'm going to drop this in, and I'm going to lock it into place just like that. So now this is inside my machine. Then what you want to do is put the cap back on. Okay, we are going to drag this over to the left, up top. Okay, then what I'm going to do is just take a bit of Xtool's HTV. Today I'm going to use black just so we can make sure and see all the good details that the Xtool M1 Ultra is going to be able to cut. But holy cow, do they have a wide range and variety of HTV colors. Okay, just like with any other HTV project, you want to put the shiny side facing down. So I'm going to put it at the top left of my cutting mat, just like that, making sure that I push down on it and relieving any air bubbles. Now what I'm going to do is on the back of my machine, I'm going to turn it on. Now over at the Xtool Creative Space, the very first thing I want to do is just open up a new project. My machine automatically hooked up. Now I just want to press the homing button. This just puts my laser right back into place, so it's ready to use. So now what I want to do is I'm going to change my mode over from laser because I don't want to use a laser. I want to use my craft cutting blade. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to go to blade cut. Then what I'm going to do is come down here to mark processing area. Because the M1 does not have a camera, I need to be able to tell the machine where in the world my material is so I know where to put my cutout. So I'm just going to press the mark button and we're going to press start marking for a rectangle. What you want to do is open up your lid and I'm going to go to the bottom right corner of my material. Now you see this red little aiming tool right here. What you want to do is put the corner of your aiming tool at the bottom right corner of your material. When it's there, you want to press the white button. Then what you want to do is dragging your head back up, you want to go to the top left corner and doing the same thing, making sure your corner of your red aiming tool is in the top left corner of your material. When you have that done, you just want to press the white button again. So at your machine, you're going to get a rectangle like this. You just want to press end marking and then press done. So now what you're going to see on my screen is this rectangle right here. What that is where my material is at. However, everything that is in this white box right here, that is where my working space is. This is where I can put my material for my M1 Ultra to cut. So obviously I would not want to put a cutout down here because my material's not there. Also, I can't put my material over here to the right or left or above in this gray area because my Xtool won't be able to cut it. Okay, so for this project, I'm just going to keep it simple and I downloaded an SVG file off of Creative Fabrica. So all I'm going to do is find that SVG file that I downloaded. I thought this SVG file was so funny. And then what I'm going to do is I am just going to drag the SVG file into Creative Space. Okay, so this right here is going to be my design for my t-shirt. I love this, it's so funny. I live at the beach, this is perfect for where I live. So this is going to be my design. I don't have to do any edits to it. All I want to do now though is press combine or unite. This just makes sure that everything is one full piece, so it's going to cut a lot faster. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize this so it fits inside that rectangle that we've created. Now that I've resized it, you can see that my cutout fits inside my rectangle. My rectangle is my material. Now, just like with any other HTV project, you want to click on what it is that you're going to be creating and you want to flip this. So we're going to come over here to this button right here and we are going to flip this horizontally or mirror this. You want to make sure that what you're cutting out is not legible to you right now. Okay, now what we need to do is set our cutting parameters. So I'm going to select on my cutout. For my module, I am going to be using the fine point blade. If you were using the deep knife blade, you would use this, or rotary, you would use this. But I'm going to be using the fine point blade. For processing type, this is going to be a fine cut. Now what I want to do is set my speed and pressure for my material. So I'm going to press this easy set panel. For this project, I'm going to do 75 pressure and 400 speed. All right, we are essentially ready to go. So then all we want to do is press process. The computer is going to tell you that we need to have our base plate installed, which is this right here. And we need to have our module installed, which is this right here. And what we need to have inserted is our fine point blade, which is what we've done. When that's ready to go, you just want to close the lid on your machine. And then you want to press the start button on your computer. Now you're going to be able to come back to your machine and press the silver button on your machine. Now my M1 Ultra is cutting my HTV decal, and can you believe how quiet this is? You know, I was on the phone with my husband earlier and I was talking to him about this machine, and he said, is it even running? And I said, yeah, it's cutting. He's like, oh my gosh, it is so quiet. This machine is so quiet. Okay, now that it's done cutting, you can press complete on your computer, and then we can lift this up and take this to our table to weed. Okay, now all we need to do is take our weeding tool pick, and you just want to weed out the HTV that you do not want. I just got done weeding this out, and the way that the M1 Ultra cut this, it was so easy to weed. It definitely did all the fine little details really well. No issues. Okay, now let's go over to the heat press, heat up our heat press, and press our t-shirt. Okay, so over at the heat press, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this on, and then I'm also going to turn on my heat press on the back. I'm gonna set my temp to 350 degrees, and then I'm also gonna set my timer to 10 seconds. Okay, while my heat press is heating up, I'm going to take my t-shirt and I'm going to fold it in half so I get a direct middle on my shirt. I'm going to put this into my heat press bed. Then I'm going to just put this over here like this, and although it's not heated up, that's okay because I'm really only trying to get the wrinkles out of my shirt, but then also that crease line. So I'm just going to lower this and we'll put the timer on. Okay, it's done, so I'm going to lift the lever and I'm going to move this out. So now when it comes to my shirt, I'm going to not have any wrinkles, but also this like nice little folded line right here. I am going to be able to line up my decal directly in the middle of my shirt, having zero issues. So we're going to move this over to the side. I do like that this is portable. You can move this wherever you want. And my machine is still heating up, so I'm just going to move this. Let's do it this way. Whoops. Move that out of the way. And we're going to lay this down on our heat press mat, lining up that middle line. Okay, now our heat press is done heating up. I just want to make sure that I put my decal 3 fingers below the collar line. This right here is the middle line. That's what we're going to use to line up our decal. I'm going to take my decal and I'm going to fold this in half. And I'm going to pinch the carrier sheet on the top and the bottom. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my lines of my carrier sheet to the middle of my shirt. I'm going to put this on my mat, making sure my mat covers the entire shirt. Okay, you want to make sure that your entire decal is on your pressing mat. I'm going to use my Teflon sheet just to protect my HTV decal, but also my shirt and my garment. Then I'm going to put this over here, making sure it is covering my decal. We are going to press this down and also press this button. And now it's going to do a timer. Okay, now that it's done, we can lift open the lid and move this out of the way, moving our Teflon sheet, and then we can peel up our HTV. Okay, now that we have taken the carrier sheet off of our t-shirt, what you want to do now is put your Teflon sheet over the top of your shirt again, and we are going to do one more press. This just ensures that your decal is nicely stuck onto your t-shirt, so it's going to be there forever. Then when it's done, you can just lift it up, move it out of the way, and there is our finished shirt. We made this start to finish only using Xtool materials. Didn't this t-shirt turn out so good? But I have to say, the one coolest thing about this entire project is the fact that from start to finished, I did everything only using an Xtool material or machine. That's really cool. Now, when it comes to the brand new heat presses, are you gonna be a buyer of either the small little one, the portable one, or are you also going to get the attachment, making this a stationary heat press? I absolutely love the design of the new heat press. It is white with a little bit of wood grain. It looks so sleek, so cute. I love the fact that we can just make this a portable thing. So I can adjust the time and temp while somebody else can be in my craft room just manning the heat press. I think that is really cool. Now, the other feature that I think is really cool is if you got that stationary base, turning your heat press into a stationary to a portable heat press is real simple and real easy. All you have to do is slide it in and out of the holder. This thing right here is so cool. For me, the reason why it's so cool is I actually have two heat presses right now. I have a portable heat press that I use for the larger projects on the ground, but I also have my really large one that sits on the counter. Now what I can do is get rid of two machines and only have one. So I'm conserving on space, which is absolutely amazing. If you are a crafter that is lacking in a big, huge room for all of your craft supplies, I love the fact that you have a 2-in-1 machine right here. And then also on that note, the brand new Xtool M1 Ultra that just came out, this is 3 machines in 1. So we are gonna be able to craft in smaller areas because they've made multi-use machines, which I think is absolutely fabulous. All right, y'all, the one question that I asked at the end of my unboxing video of the Xtool M1 Ultra, I'm gonna ask it to you again here just because I need some help honing in all of my ideas. What do you want me to make next with either my Xtool M1 Ultra or my new heat presses that I got? You let me know in the comments of this video. I can't wait to hear your feedback and what your thoughts and opinions are of both the laser ultimate craft machine that's over here or the heat press. Let me know. I want to hear all your feedback. All right, y'all, I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I'll see you later.